Ooh, bum bum. This is the Thunderdome. Two meta slaves enter, one leaves. Who will it be? The cringe Aquarion or the cringer Hoodrick? I actually don't know which people don't like more nowadays. I mean, like, the special tribes are always receiving so much hate. Aquarion used to be the lone one that was like, no, they're good. Like, no one's gonna complain about using Aquarion because they were so trash. But that all changed. We can go ahead and chop this forest because it doesn't seem like it's going to help us out in, the market stuff, and that's all we think about. We never think about, hey, that's actually a pretty good defense bonus tile for a warrior to step on. We're gonna go ahead. We would have loved to get another unit here, but just because of the mountainous terrain around us, gonna have to go ahead and drop our archer on this tile. So no more units here. And yeah, we're trying to keep them away from this village, but like, it's not happening. We're not gonna keep them off that city. He goes ahead, picks up a kill on us, and imagine if we had a defense bonus on that tile, or if this warrior right now had a defense bonus. So, unfortunate chop, but what can you do? We are gonna go ahead, pick up a nice turn 8 giant though, and obviously got like a nice little market spot going in there too. But we're picking up cities at a pretty rapid rate, kind of hoping that one of these ruins helps us out in the, riding roads, markets, stuff. We get a fishing ruin, so that's pretty good. I mean, we're going to need that anyways. Go ahead and take an explorer because we want to, drop a port and get moving on the water. And it's pretty good at getting a ton of vision. But probably going to want like another explorer here to see a little bit more. In the future, there's this big conspicuous strip. So use that fishing rune, of course. You're gonna just drop straight on this city, or do a little roundabout up to here. Nah, straight onto that city. Good, good. We're not picking up a wall here, just straight for stars because I'm not too worried about what they got. They do have Iogod in their own crab though. It's turn 10 and we're finally getting riding, which is feels a little late in the grand scheme of things, but it's what we can do. Picking up roads now, before we capture this city, of course. We gotta drop our giant on here. We've got the archers, so we're pretty decently set up to deal with stuff. We take an explorer here, but I feel it was a little early, just because if we had sailing and it went straight north, we got so much more vision. I mean, we do see, this ruin down here, so not the worst vision I've ever seen in my life. We get a, spiritualism ruin, so like, what are we supposed to do with this? Actually, what are we supposed to do with this? I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the little border grove here, because like, I mean, you see it, come on. I mean, this is no spiritualism, just Hoodrick forests, and this is the main protagonist of the Aquarion game. Yeah, we're not set up in the water yet. We're still getting our markets set up because we've been really slow on that. And we're actually using spiritualism to go ahead and take a couple population here, combined with a Grand Bazaar, to go ahead and push that crab straight off. Make sure we push it this way because we don't want it like running down to the city either. Get a few more giants, a few more archers. So we are pretty well equipped to deal with like cloaks coming in, and we see that little eye icon. He's been waiting. Yeah, he moves it into range and then does everything else. Leaves it for the very last second of the turn. Try to get us, catch us by surprise, catch us unawares, as it were. We go ahead, already a level 5 sawmill and a giant on this city, but some more population to come as well. But yeah, archers are doing a pretty good job of cleaning house. Our giant's doing a pretty good job of not losing the cities. We get a catapult here too, just to deal with this crab fest. And yeah, the cloaks are coming on both of these cities now. We don't even have our market set up yet. It's turn 15, it's getting harder and harder. Plus, we're capturing these two cities. I mean, should we capture this city? Like this, the swordsman's coming in, like, what are we supposed to do to stop that dude? And go ahead and use our catapult like this, take out the crab. Which is nice, keep the city, but yeah, this amphibian's gonna be monstrous to us. We are gonna go ahead and capture these two cities. And I mean, surely, right? We're just gonna go ahead and, yeah, just chop everything, chop the animals. Don't even take an explorer over here. You're gonna take this city, like we've got our veteran swordsman, but we still recognize like what's happening. And yeah, nasty stuff here. We're getting our capital sieged. Our catapult is losing all its health. They're cloaking us still. You know, the splash damage from the juggernauts is pretty nice to help clean up with the archers. But yeah, we want our giants to be headed over into the east if we can get them that way. Take out some of these riders, but we're gonna send one to do some splash damage and help us out, and then the other as well, because yeah, we need sailing, and we're still so poor. We need all of our stars to be going into helping us get our markets. And we've got like really nice, you know, market spots like double level 7s down here, and you know, some spiritualism to double level 8 there. Of course, you know, this level 6, yada yada. They're moving the jelly in here, and they're happy, you know, taking this these damage trades when I attack the jelly for a lot of damage. Just because the jellyfish are a renewable resource, they can just make so many of them. And on turn 17, we finally pick up trade. We get our veteran swordsman siege here, and if we set our juggernauts over into the east, probably could have actually held even. So maybe a little bit of mistake over there. We're gonna go ahead and pick up the kill on that jelly, but yeah, you know, just more damage, and our juggernaut is never healing. So a little unfortunate that we lose this siege. It could have been so avoidable, because now they have this great jellyfish training spot. That's like, this city's level 1, like, what are we doing to defend this? We're like not established in the water at all. And then Border Growth with his killer monument, ugh! I mean, you know, well played to the opponent, like, good stuff there. But we're finally getting, you know, the compounding effects of the markets coming in for us as the markets help us afford all of our other markets. Taking out that jellyfish as well. We've been doing pretty decent job of pushing them back, but now we have the big problem of we're still vulnerable to cloaks. They're pretty well set up into the late game. How do we push this? Because we don't have any navy. So, are we able to transform it is the question. Like, we have all the stars we're going to, they have all the stars they're going to get. One of us can win. This is the Thunderdome after all. So we're just going to keep picking up more and more damage with our archers, and hope that, you know, we're not losing too much health on our juggernauts, because we need these guys to be the ones actually sieging. And he's just going to hope to whittle down our juggernauts until we never have anything that can actually land a proper siege on him. It's going to be much more difficult for us to even go ahead and pick up like damage on anything. But we go ahead, get ramming, take out the one jellyfish. We got our scouts getting some damage for us. We got the giant over here. It's gonna, like, I don't know what this giant's doing, but it can go back into the port whenever it wants. So it's certainly not trapped, and definitely not betrayed. And here we go, strategy. We used some ports and such to go pick up this walled city over in the east. So it feels pretty nice. Taking a lot of damage on our giant over here. These jellies are nasty, and yeah, they just keep tearing through us in the water. But we've, you know, baited the question mark into the range of our archers, so we're gonna be able to pick up some decent damage there. Gonna go ahead after this jellyfish, it'll land this giant siege, but you know, paltry giant siege. 13 health, are we for real? It's nothing. They're trying to get, you know, nasty over here in the east with this crab, but we're just trying to block off all these tiles. They can maybe get the one jellyfish in, maybe they can like clear up the rider, hit with, like a couple other riders. But yeah, they're not interested in that. They are interested in the starfish though, and like, yeah, I mean, as soon as this jellyfish moves in, we're not stopping them. Even before the jellyfish, like a 1 health rammer is not gonna kill a rider. Are you crazy? We do have, finally, this nice bomber spot, though, which is protected by this city. Yeah, nice little tactic, you know, in the corner of the city. Go ahead and pick up border growth here, and we get a little chop, because, yeah, we've got, you know, plenty of population. And we can finally get a market spot here, just a little sawmill plus market in the future. But for right now, we need more stars going into actual units and such. So they're building up the sharks, you know, their crab is still at full health, and we're having a little difficult time actually damaging it. But yeah, with the bomber stuff, like the bomber's doing good, and you even have a rammer in front of it. Doesn't look like they're in any immediate danger of stealing the city from us. We go ahead and pick up the giant to push our defender over in there and get the nice market spot as well. Some aquatism defense boosted rammers, as well as, you know, bombers protecting us. So we're doing pretty well establishing ourselves in the east. These jellies keep coming in, but we keep taking care of them with our archers and everything. While our juggernauts in the back start healing up, you can go ahead and make a little jelly here. But we've got a pretty decently health giant over here. Yeah, they're gonna take out like all that health, like it's not holding. You do have this nice bomber though, so take some damage on the crab before it goes. And this is a pretty inland city, so these sharks, if we can take care of them with like some kind of knight, seems very possible. I mean, they get a cloak here, the heat of the moment, you know. Little mistakes made in a live game, and we're happy. The goal of a live game is to make fewer mistakes than your opponent, of course. And I don't know, are we doing it right now? Feels like we are, but it's tough in these little weird asymmetrical positions, whatever's going on here. We're just pushing everything into the water while they're trying to get, like, you know, these sharks, like cloaks, into this big border growth city here. And, you know, a couple crabs to try to steal this city over in the east. Yeah, the crabs move in, and it's looking like, kind of sketchy, a little dangerous even. Yeah, this giant is lost now. Like he's not able to retreat. Back it up. Like, you know, there's this a rider here, whatever else. I don't know. Will he survive? Will he not? Is it best to disband him, or you know, choose to hope? I choose to hope here. Go ahead. Well, I would have chosen to hope if I didn't keep my archer here. I moved the scout east, but I don't move the archer west. He just like, oh, and then just floods the tile. Not floods. Defloods the tile. We go and pick up the farm over here because, yeah, we've got a plan for if they siege the city. Fortunately, they don't. They just pick up, you know, a cloak attack, which I'm glad it wasn't this city. Is my only thing there. They're moving in, but our bombers are still safe. So our real goal right now is to go ahead and pick up some knights. We can get some knights as well as, you know, the bombers and stuff that we've already set up. We can go ahead and deal like more efficiently with all these daggers, whatever else they send at us. And we can have hopes of actually winning this game, but you know, it requires stars, and you know, so do bombers and everything else that we've been doing, so we finally saved up enough to get one single knight. As soon as I say those words, I'm like, wow, we turned 26 one single night. What have we been doing? But go ahead, put our giant on here. Can like erode into this mine. Try to do something on their capital. What is it gonna do in the face of all these riders and like the fact that they get jellies and like traded jellies as soon as I walk in? I don't know. But he is at least keeping the city safe while we have 0 stars and our knight over here. The knight can't go through this tile with the metal on it, but we can bridge and try to do something. But yeah, as long as they control these tiles and there are these mountains over here, and they're not training any more cloaks up here, sadly, this knight is a little trapped. Over in the east, we go ahead and pick up mining and do some spiritualism planting. Instead of, you know, smithery, which would have been a little more expensive, to go ahead and push there. And as soon as we push, they decide that, yeah, it's over. Like, you know, they haven't used this knight yet, but, you know, I'm going to be pushing in with my knights and everything, eventually pick up some kind of chain, or limit them enough that I can actually get something. I'm making enough progress in the east. I think this is the main area of progress. I move on from stealing this, or keeping the city and the giants over here, to stealing this city from them eventually. This city's much more difficult to defend for them than it is for me to attack. As soon as I deal enough damage to these crabs, and the crabs are taking damage, as you can see, we should be making progress over here in the east. Although, they could have played on. Maybe my internet cut out. Never know. But that is how the game is going to end. Bye.